Hello, and welcome to another video. Today we're going to be just playing a calm game, and mostly talking about stuff while we play the game. So maybe this is an interesting type of format as well. So what I want to talk about today is something that really holds back a lot of people, which is just a mental thing, and it holds you back both in League and in other stuff. So there are two things even that are the main ones, but one of them is so small I just only count one. So let's just get the small one out of the way. It's basically like when people say that they don't care or that they play for fun or something. I mean, yeah, sure, you can play for fun and stuff, but I mean, if you're playing for fun and you're playing like more than 3 games a day and you're playing complete for fun, then it might be time to ask yourself a bit if it's really worth it to play every game complete for fun. But I think if you play like 1 or 2 or 3 games and only play like ARAMs or something or whatever else, then sure, you can just be a for fun player. But other than that, I want to talk about how you really should try to apply the stuff that you already know to League. There's really no need to completely reinvent something and just focus on making League its own thing. There's no need for that, you know? As in, many people will, for example, be decent at something else. Let's say you're decent at chess, right? And then you're not good at all in League. Okay, well, that doesn't make much sense, because that means that you're either really new to League, or it means that you're not applying the stuff you already know from chess. Because, okay, so whenever I play chess, I play it like on and off. So I would play, I don't know, I would play for like a week or something, climb, and then I would stop playing it for a few months, and then I would play it again for like a week or something, or a few days, and so on. And what you always notice is, oh, well, okay, I can see where I'm losing, right? So what happens is, when I get back to chess, I don't really have the groove going, and I'm autopiloting, and then I'm just like not looking, and then I'm like, oh, I made a mistake, I just blundered my piece, and that's how I lose most of my games. So then, whenever I stop playing chess, I become like, I don't know, let's say 13, 14, 1500 level, and whenever I play again, or this is online obviously paintings because I don't play IRL anymore, and whenever I play again, then I am climbing up to say like, I don't know, it depends how long I play. The highest I've been is like 2050, I think. And what ends up happening is that, you see, because I'm okay at League, I end up seeing that a small mistake is just costing me the game, right? And the same thing happens in League, where let's say that right now I do everything well, right? I'm really ahead in my game. Like, okay, cool, it's just a chill game that I'm playing, just for some background footage or whatever. So let's say that is the case, right? I'm doing well, I'm doing like everything great. Like, at the end of the day, it's gonna be the same. Oh. It's gonna be the same where if I now play well for say like 15 minutes more, and then I decide to run into the enemy and die like 2 or 3 times, and I'm still gonna lose. The same concept applies in most things, right? For example, I think my friend talked about a soccer game where some team played against some other team, I don't know, whatever, and then they started off the game with a 2-0 lead, and then by halftime it was 2-2, and at the end of the game it was like 5-2, because they completely dropped the ball, right? But the reasons why this stuff happens are the same in everything. They can be tilt, they can be because you don't pay attention, because you lose focus, and so on, right? But autopiloting. But either way, it becomes the same thing. And then if you're actually decent at something else, which I'm sure that most of you are, then you can apply that from that, right? So I'll also give you some cool examples that I got just from, for example, reading or studying about stuff, or just my interpretations that I've actually applied to my own game. So one thing that was pretty useful to me in laning was the concept of waiting for your prey to find its prey as like a hunter type thing. So I saw this somewhere at some point. I think it was some show or something, I don't know. I don't really remember where it was, but basically this animal would be hunting this other animal. And what would end up happening is that the first animal could not catch the second animal. But the second animal was also not at the bottom of the food chain. So that animal would also try to catch its own prey. So in the moment when that animal is trying to strike at its own prey, and that's the moment when you actually know where it's gonna be, even if it's faster than you or whatever else, right? That's the time when you actually know where it's gonna be, 100%. And like for example here, right? Like she crashed a wave, and she's actually going to crash that wave. Like pretty much every time she's gonna try to get it. There's no way I win this also. This guy's way too tanky. Russ Mercs, okay. But you know that he's going to crash the wave, or you know that he wants a minion, or you know he's gonna walk up. And when these things happen, which you know will happen, then that's the time to punish. You don't need to look to punish stuff at random times, right? So let's look it up again. So like right now, he doesn't need to try to cube right now or try to punish or something, right? It's just like, okay, well, you know where she's gonna be right now when the minion is low. So right now you can apply that. And most of us know that concept, right? Where a minion is low, enemies are gonna walk up and hit it. Okay, let's use our spells. But you can see how I extrapolated that concept out of something that isn't even League related at all. Then there's another concept that I got, which is I was told about archery by like some people, and they said that when you start practicing, then you would only draw your bow, and you would, or well, you wouldn't even get a bow at the start, you would just go through the motions, and you would try to make sure that your form was good, right? And I've been told that they do this in quite a few things. And then, so what does this really tell us, right? Can you come to a conclusion as to what we could... Oh, goodness. Can you come to a conclusion as to what you would actually want to take away from that? Oh, he didn't kill him. So, when I hear that, I think to myself, well, so, okay, but that's a pretty good way for someone to practice. I don't want this. So, why don't I apply that to League and do the same thing, right? So, let's say that I'm practicing mechanics or something. Okay, let's just do it slowly, let's slow it down, and let's not even do it in fights or something. Let's just go through a little scenario that I'm trying to recreate, right? And let's slow it down, let's slowly do it, and let's practice that until it becomes like pretty ingrained. That's how those drills end up happening, right? So people made a lot of drills in League. Well, not a lot, but for example, CSing or like mechanics or whatever else, right? Or well, rather mechanics, I should say kiting. And these things will end up being pretty helpful. As we go through the list of stuff that does exist and the list of stuff we can read and whatever else, we can actually notice that there are very many things which relate to League if you just try to apply them. So I can give you some more examples maybe. So let's say, okay, so fighting sports, you want to see where the enemy is looking and stuff and what they're trying to do, right? From body language, etc. And you can do the same thing in League, because like, see where I'm clicking, that's where my champion looks, and that's how you know where I am clicking and what I'm thinking. So that's kind of body language as well. What else do we have? I'm gonna try to think of one more, maybe. I mean, I guess we can go with something like swimming, I guess. But it's kind of the same thing as before, but okay, whatever. So, when you try to learn swimming, then in a movement, there are multiple parts, right? So something you have to do with your legs, something you have to do with your arms, the way that you get air, the way that you have to do whatever else, right? So then, how come those people can learn it and do it really well? Well, most of the time what they do is, I can just invade it also. Most of the time what they do is they just break it down into parts. So at some point they will... Did I win this? Oh no, I'll try. Shit. Yeah. I wasn't sure because I had no... No. Sad. At some point they will break down all of their movements into small parts and then it's digestible. And the same thing is what you do in League. Every small part of the game you break down and then you make it digestible. Then chess is also pretty simple to take away from. We already had an example from chess, but it actually gives us many examples, that game. Because it just draws a lot of parallels. Well, allows us to draw them. So we have another one, which is that you want to learn an early game, a mid game, and a late game type thing, right? But in late game, you're learning strategies, which are in your repertoire, and you're not really hard focusing on learning those at the start when you just start playing the game. Because then you're not gonna get that many games. And in mid game, you're like combining a bit of both. While in early game, you want to have preset strategies that you're going to use, which you will stray from, of course, if it's necessary, but which you can stick to in most of your games, because you don't have to fix what isn't broken. Like, there are chess openings that have been around for over 100 years, right? So why is that? Why do people still play the same openings? Well, because they're just good. And if they're good one game, or optimal one game, then that doesn't mean that they're going to not ever be optimal again, or I don't know, never be good, or whatever else, or not be good when it's not optimal, you know? Like, even if it's not the best, it can still be a very good option. The same thing happens in League, and that's why I tell you people to make some kind of a game plan and make it consistent, and then try to transfer that into leads. So like this game, right? I don't really pay too much attention to my game because I'm mostly trying to talk. And I did like a full clear, and then I think I did basically a full clear again. And that's not very proactive. I wouldn't say that's very good. I could have done a lot more this game. And I'm obviously not playing against very good players here. But I'm gonna say that I would say that I'm not playing against very good players in general, unless they're at least like, I don't know, Diamond, Master, whatever. Doesn't matter. For them to at least be like, okay. And most of you are not gonna be above that, so it's kind of pointless to think about that. I mean, at the end, yes, you might reach it, and it might make a difference for you, but how many of you are really going to go for Challenger? Like, just be honest with yourself. Like, how many of you are actually planning to go Challenger? I mean, I'm sure that many of you like the idea, like, wow, it would be pretty cool, I would like to be Challenger. I would be like, cool, yeah. How many of you are actually going to sit there and play like 10 games a day and play every day and put all of that time into it to do that? Probably not many. I'm not saying you have to play 10 games a day to be Challenger, I'm just saying that for all of you it might be a requirement. Do not necessarily. So what I'm trying to really get to is that Oh. Yeah. Okay, so let's just pull tank. What I'm trying to get to is that you can get so many things out of other stuff that you enjoy in life, or that you do, or that you're already good at, that if you're doing badly and you're not new to the game, and yet you're, well, not like completely AFK in the rest of your life, then you're probably not drawing these parallels, right? And at the end of the day, obviously you can just learn the League concepts and simply go through all the content that people make and whatever else and say, okay, well, I'm just gonna learn it through League. But I think it also makes it easier for a person when they relate it to something they already know. So it makes it more playable. And it doesn't have to be these things that I mentioned, it can be anything pretty much. Like, I've mentioned pretty varied stuff until now, so like sports, like hunting, like chess. It can also be other games. It can be, I don't know, it's just other sports as well. It can be books. I think I'm... Oh yeah, one of the things I read in a book anyway. Something I saw on a show or something. So that's a pretty varied cast of sources. I'm trying to think, is there anything else? I mean, obviously with art, you can do stuff, but it's kind of depends. I don't know enough about... I don't know enough about music creation to really say, but I think with in drawing and stuff, the way that you improve is like similar-ish, and also the way that you can work through it can be pretty similar as well. So if you're a more methodical person who outlines your stuff, makes the initial plan, and then after that fills in the blanks and keeps redrawing and stuff. I think it's on that PC app that people use. I don't know what they use to draw, but on that one I know that they use like layers and stuff, and then they keep drawing and drawing. And that's kind of like your League gameplay. It's kind of an analogy for it. You're going to draw an outline, do something rough, and then make a new one, and so on. Oh, that's sad. I missed my cue, so I die. And she lives. It's fine. We're not here for gameplay. Alright, so those things are pretty well covered with that. While I also want to say... Now I forgot what I wanted to say. See, this always happens. I mean, I guess I can talk about something else then. So I can talk about how you can manage your time if you don't have so much time. So if you have school or work or whatever else, right? So I would recommend that if you have one of those and you're planning to play during the week, that you just have like a time limit as, let's say, like 12 hours after you wake up. As long as it's not like too demanding of a day, it's still like fine to play. But preferably if you take a nap during the day, it's going to be a lot easier for you. But during those days, you just stick to like 2 to 3 games and you should be fine. And as I said before, like not really more than 12 hours after you woke up, because it's going to be pretty difficult to play well after that. I recommend studying more on League than playing it at those points, because the thing is, if you were out all day and doing stuff, and then you come home and do that, it just doesn't work. So if you're too tired to play at those points, just go weekends. Like, that's what I'm doing right now. I don't really have the energy or the will to play when I come home during the week. So I just play during the weekends when I want to like try hard, and then I play during the week if I want to like chill, you know? Otherwise I just look something up or something, you know? Or make videos. Obviously you can play during the week and make that work, but it really does depend what kind of a job you're doing. Or what kind of thing you're studying and how hard it is for you and all of that. But generally, as long as you're playing something like 3 games a day or 2 games a day, you should be fine. And then on weekends you can play like 6 or something, and plenty to improve. You really don't need more. Many people think that you need to play like 10-20 games a day, but playing 10-20 games a day won't even really help you. Like, do you think that if I played 10-20 games the way that I played this game, it would make me improve at all? Like even 1%? No. Very simply said, because I didn't really pay too much attention to this game. I'm not really doing anything. I'm not playing as I know how to play. I'm just chilling a bit, just walking around and doing some stuff to relax because I've had a bad day. So I need to stop saying so. But anyway, that's kind of a misconception people usually have, and it's not really the best. But it is really important though to decide in this game what your goal is. Like, do you want to achieve X, Y, or Z, or something else? Because what you want to achieve in this game is going to greatly change how you should approach it. As there's not that much of a chance that you're going to end up being like, I don't know, challenger by following skill capped, you know? At the same time, there's not that much of a chance that you're going to climb really quickly by following people who make stuff that's better to, for improvement or something. Because skill capped is better for something like climbing to say like diamond or whatever. That's like what they're going for, and that's fair enough, you know? Like they target lower elo and that works for them, so it's good. I don't really dislike them too much, but yeah, it's still something to keep in mind. Because if you want to end up being really high, then stuff like skill caps has 0 value to you. While if you just want to reach like gold or a diamond or something, stuff like that can actually have value to you. So it's kind of like a balance, like most things in life. And I guess before this game ends, I'll just talk about how I'm planning to maybe do some longer term coaching. I'm not sure what the exact idea is gonna be yet though, if it's gonna be sold to someone or if I'm just gonna give it away to someone I pick or something else. And I'm thinking of just doing something like, I don't know, having someone just get like some coaching every week and then go until they're like, I don't know, diamond or master or something, who knows. But as I said, I haven't really decided too much on that yet. But it's something that I'm thinking of. So, I don't know. If you watched until this point, I don't know, maybe comment if you would like to be picked for that, maybe. I might pick one of you if I decide to go the giveaway route. I don't know. We'll see. No promises here, but it's just something that might happen. Either way, I mean, I doubt many people will make it to this point. because I've kind of been rambling on. How did I not kill him, by the way? Oh, Mercs. That's actually kind of shocking, no? His ATMR? Same HP as me. So basically, if I buy Mercs on Evelynn, then I won't be able to one-shot Evelynn with these items. Okay. Monkas. Okay. I mean, without ult, obviously. Like, with ult, he would just die. I always get surprised by how tanky some champs are. For example, Gangplank or Shyvana or something. It's pretty interesting. Playing such a funny game. That's fine. I have no clue what I'm playing with also. I think it's like... I think I picked normal game or something. But yeah. So, if I had to say what the Headcrim did, right? He had no plan. Basically just decided I'm going to tree camp. But then, you see, the issue is why I never recommend any of you to tree camp if you're low elo. I mean, you can, just don't do it too often and really make sure that you know like why you're doing it. But I don't recommend it almost ever, because what happens is after a tree camp you actually need to either have already been in that position many times, or you need to figure stuff out yourself. And whenever you have to start figuring stuff out yourself, that is an issue, because that makes the game a lot harder for you. Especially if the enemy jungler doesn't have to do that. Because if he's going to pick something that's like simple to do, but it's like always decent, and you're gonna pick something that's like good now, but you have to keep doing good after, it's gonna be pretty hard for you. So you're always gonna have to play well at every point of the game. It's not that easy. It's much easier to just play decent the whole game than it is to play amazing the whole game, you know? Like to never drop the ball. Because in most scenarios, you dropping the ball once has more impact than the enemy just like not completely abusing every single lead that they could possibly get the whole game. Deep. Like for example, me here dying has, or well, not in this scenario, but it could have more impact than, for example, like, okay, let's say that I killed people 3 times less because, I don't know, I just didn't find the angles. And I was just like chilling, right? That means I was playing a bit worse. But that would negatively impact the game less than me dying here. So these types of things mentally are going to really change up how the game ends up playing out. Because whenever you try to play at your complete limit, it will always be too much. That's why well, there's like a limit that you can't play at, right? Like just the limit where you can still try to play at, and there's a limit that you can actually play at, right? And what you want to do when you're trying to improve is play a bit beyond the limit where you can actually play already, but not play at the limit of how much you can try. Because if you play at that limit, then you're going to be focusing all of your energy on just trying to try. That's not that effective either. Just trying to try. This guy ulted. You want your energy to be directed towards trying enough to get good practice, but then have the rest of your energy go towards you trying to actually improve. So it ends up being like that. Sort of. Nice damage, Evelynn. No, save me. Okay. Should be the end of the game, hopefully. Been talking way too much. But yeah, if you enjoyed the video, then like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. We had like a bit of a more chill video today. And next time we'll have something more serious like before. Well, anyway, see ya. Peace.